So it's time for another edition of my teenage writing, and this time it's poems. I can hear like an annoying noise coming from somewhere in this room, and I have to find it and stop it before I can keep talking. I'll be back. Okay, it is a computer that I can apparently not switch off. I can strip the sound out for you, but I can't strip it out for me. Anyway, it's okay. I can do this. It's just a noise in the background. So today we are digging into my poetry archives. Now, I used to write quite a bit of poetry when I was a teenager. I was writing it by hand in my diaries. And then at some point, I decided to type everything up onto a computer, and I've somehow managed to save that file through all the computers over the years. Some of these poems were originally written on a typewriter. I kid you not, right? Those were the days. So we're gonna have a look through them. They start in 2001. I don't know how many years we've got. There are 54 pages here. I'm not going to read all of them. Let's do just a selection. So, some of them are also songs, I realised. Now, I did briefly engage with guitar playing. I could play a very limited number of chords, and I sang these songs in accordance to the very limited number of chords. So you know what, maybe we'll start with a song because I can still remember the tune. Okay, so this one's called Regrets. I wrote it in 2001, and it goes like this. I wish that I could lie to myself, but I won't go down that path. I wish that I could make you happy like we've always thought, but I'm sorry I can't do that. It goes on a bit further. Don't worry, singing over, I won't sing anymore. Then we have got, okay, here's a couple of cute ones. So this next one was always like my favourite poem I had written. I found it to be very profound. And I still now feel like, oh, when I see it. I have no idea what it sounds like to anybody else, but here it is. It's called Sweet Summer Song. Don't worry, it's not a song. Sunday is the day when it rains, and we still go on long walks by the river, and the early winter breeze chills our spines through the thin summer jackets that remind us of warmth. When we sat here and watched the unclear water grow stagnant in the heat of the burning sun, while others passed by, unnoticed by our bloodshot, distracted eyes that strayed no further than each other's gaze on those long holiday days so different from today. There it is, Sweet Summer Song. Okay, this one, it's a light-hearted take on death, let's say. It's called Don't Leave Us, and it goes like this. It's a shame when people die because they don't know where they're headed, to a wondrous kingdom in the sky, or maybe they're just deaded. I'd like to die and find out, just for myself, but I could not return to life in the best of health. Still, it would be nice to speak again to dear old Arthur, smoked himself to death, the uncle of my father. And sometimes I do wonder, if I was to die, would I fall down to hell, or grow angel wings and fly? How are we to know? After all, it could be black, an emptiness of nothing from which no one can come back. So I don't like to think about where it is I'll go. So I think I'll live forever, and death will never know. There is a theme I can see from looking back at these that often ends with some kind of claim to immortality or just living on another planet for the rest of one's life. You may get an impression of the sort of teenager I was. Some of them are quite bleak. Some of them are clearly sort of retellings or relivings of trauma and mental health struggles that I was going through as a teenager. Some of them just sounds like someone off their head has written it, to be honest. Oh, I found another song. Do you want another song? Again, this was another one that I thought was incredibly profound. To the extent that I've called it Revelations. Shall I sing it for you? Okay, this is the last song, I promise, and then I won't sing again, ever again on the channel. Revelations. I'm walking nowhere, a little bit lightheaded. Inspiration ain't found in a pill. Time passes all too fast and childhood is over. If I don't want to die, I never will. I'm walking everywhere, I don't care where I'm going, and everything just seems so fine. Yesterday I saw the truth and it showed me beauty. Now I know the universe is mine. My head spins around, it spins around into the night. My head, it spins around into the night. I think that was the chorus. Anyway, here's a short one. Distraction. As their grey fingers clutch at the security of the steering wheel and their breath shudders out before them, drivers forget to indicate. I think that was about Rush Hour. Here's another one about winter. Spring 2003, when I was 15, 16 years old. My chapped lips won't take long to heal, and my numb fingers long to feel. Pickle frost has all but disappeared. Spring approaching seems weird. This one was called New Year's Day, and I wrote it after going to a New Year's Eve party somewhere very far away from my parents' house and having to walk back across town for miles at around dawn with my friend. And when we went through the town, it was like completely quiet, just as the sun was rising. And afterwards I wrote this poem called New Year's Day. Waiting for the sudden change in the sky, we are too impatient. The dew has hardly settled, but that is no deterrent. Somehow, this is all ours. So much grey has never seemed significant. This is our place forever, in one moment, in our memory. The twinkling damp is silent in our joy, and yet such silent is not sullen. Everything old and tired, but now the scene is afresh, as always, in our heads. Time not still, but lingering. The waning darkness drags by. All our hauntings drop away into the beauty of this day. Is it all right? I quite like time not still, but lingering. Quite like that. What else do we have? Seems to be another one about like winter rush hour. Monday morning. The whole world is a morbid grey blanket. Previous unities are forgotten, as it's every man for himself in the blinding freeze. Don't know why I was so preoccupied with rush hour. I mean, some are just kind of embarrassing, but you know, it's okay. I was young. I was highly delusional and disillusioned at the same time. I'm not going to read some of the sort of bleaker ones because it feels kind of re-traumatizing to look at some of these. Just don't really want to do that. Do you breathe in at the familiar harmonica and look down at the floor and hear the lyrics clearly through your fuzzy head? Honestly, don't do drugs, kids. It's nice to look back on them. I'm glad that I kept them. There were probably many points over the years where I would have wanted to just destroy all these things and forget about them, but I am glad that I've got a record of those years of my life, as difficult as some of those years were. I'm glad that I've still got them. Probably won't be dipping back into them for a while. That's enough for me for now. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.